Good evening. Welcome to ExPat InSights. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan. Here at ExPat InSights, we take external views of internal successes by foreigners, expats, and immigrants who have made Philippines their home. Tonight, we have two guests, one from Japan and one from France. And these people have been living in the country for a little over 2 years, and they are both singers and musicians. And we are going to talk about the art, the expression, the discipline of music. Our theme tonight, music makes the world go round. And my first guest is a lady from Japan. Her name is Ruth Linton. She's married to an American, that's why Linton. And Ruth is her global name. Her real name is Yoshie. Ruth Linton, Ruth Yoshie Linton. She's a Japanese singer, and she lives in the Philippines but does work all across the globe. My second guest, a tall, handsome young man wearing a white jacket from France, and he's been in the country for nearly 4 years, and he's cut a record in the Philippines called Feel So Good. His name is Julien Drolon, and you might have seen him on TV or many shows in the country. So, welcome to ExPat InSights, Julien and Ruth.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. How do you say that in French?
Je suis content d'être ici.
Exactly what I said. All right. How about in Japanese?
Arigatou
Arigatou, and gracias. Como tal? Okay.
Eso es español.
So tell us a bit about yourself before we introduce the topic of music. Ruth, you go.
Okay, I'm born in Japan, and then I started my music career about when I was 18 years old. And then I've been making some records and performing, mainly in Japan, and still I'm doing it. And then here I am in Philippines.
So the other question I have is that rarely do I see a Japanese person speak such fluent English.
Thank you very much.
Where do you pick up your English?
So people telling me, you know, I'm picking up a little bit of Philippine accent.
Absolutely,
Is that true, you
absolutely. You sound like as if you're from Batangas.
Okay. Okay, it's really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have a good ear, maybe?
Yeah.
I tried to copy. I
Yeah.
tried.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That makes a lot of sense,
And
I think.
I tried to sing many English songs, so, you know, my favorite musician, and I tried to sing same song, and then maybe that's why my
Who is your
English.
favorite musician?
Faith Hill.
Faith
You know
Hill,
her?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Julien, about yourself a bit?
Well, I'm from France, and I came in the Philippines in 2007. I was an international reporter at this time. So I've been doing that for a couple of years, and when I arrived in the Philippines, I love it so much, so I decided to stay. And I always loved music, and I started to write songs, and decided to stay and make an album here. And so far, so good. I've been traveling in Hong Kong and China, sharing my passion, playing you know, internationally, and
Right.
I'm so happy that you know, this record is now on your table, and I can share it to Filipinos and people in Asia.
So I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Ruth over here. Where did you pick up your English? But let me clarify this. There's a rumor around in the world that the French
Don't
hate
speak
the
English.
English. So how did you pick up English, and where did you pick it up?
I went to Australia when I was 18 for a year, and after I lived in Memphis, Tennessee for 6 months. So, you know, I know I still have a French accent, but I guess, you know, thanks to those 2 experiences, it, you know, helped me to speak fluently English, and I enjoy it. But it's true that we don't hate English people, but there's always a rivalry, you know, like there's always
Just love them a little less.
yeah, like, no, but I'm not gonna watch the Olympic Games, you know.
Oh, you won't?
No, I'm just kidding.
By the way, there was music there last night. I heard Paul McCartney.
McCartney, yeah.
Sing, yeah. So we are going to let them watch a little video. As soon as the video is queued up, should be queued up any minute now. What brought you to the Philippines quickly, Ruth? Yeah.
Okay.
Not what brought you quickly, but quickly what brought you to the Philippines. Same thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, it's a family.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I lived in the Philippines before, just for 2 years, and then we had a chance to, you know, move back to the Philippines, and we say, yes, let's do it.
Okay. There's a video coming up. It's a speech on music, and it's available.
Speaker number 3, Dwayne Smith. Music in the key of life. But wouldn't you know it?
As soon as he turned that radio off, he began to hear music from one of the other rooms. And they were playing his mother's favorite song, Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. And then he could clearly see, because he was convinced that God was telling him through music to stop feeling sorry for himself, to appreciate the things that he had, and to live. And to this very day, Benny has never reconsidered suicide. Ladies and gentlemen, music is an important part of our lives. It is with us every day, in every way. So whether you're in a bebop kind of mood or in a bluesy mood, whether your life is up or whether your life is down, remember this. Music might not save the world, but it might save you. Music might not save the world, but it gives you something to dance to. Music is not written in the key of give up. Music is not written in the key of let go. Music is not written in those keys. Oh, no. Music might not save the world, but it eases the toils and strife, because music is written in the key of life.
That's good, yeah? Good setup for you. So, welcome back. And that was a guy called Dwayne Smith, and that presentation was in 2002. Sets up well for music tonight. So tell us about you, Julien. You were in the middle of telling me about your foray in the Philippines.
Well, as I said, I came here as an international reporter, and actually I'm kind of inspired by what we just watched, because I was looking for something, challenging in my life, and music was for me the best way I could express my feeling, and that's why I decided to give up my job, even if I was successful at this time. My boss didn't understand why I do that for music, but I came I saw him this summer, and I gave him the album, and he was so,
Who?
So
You came to who? I'm sorry.
my boss, my former boss.
With the New York Times?
Yeah, international reporting. And when he saw what I achieved my dream, he was very happy for me. And for me, life is about living your dreams, and I hope I can inspire people through my music to always fight for their dreams. I think it's very important.
Right. So what were the challenges in your life? You said it was challenging to...
Well, it's challenging to change. I was 27 at this time. I was doing very well with my job and 5-star.
How to make a shift.
Yeah, it was very hard to give up for something I didn't know where to go. So it was hard for a year. I just was, balancing. Shall I quit the corporate world and do music? And then I got signs, that. A little bit like what this gentleman was talking about,
you realize the power of music.
Yeah, I realized...
The magic behind it.
Yeah, the music was calling me, and when I was sure of it, I just gave up everything, and it took me a year, but once I'm very happy I did it. After 3 years, I'm so happy right now, and I live thanks to my music, thanks to my, my dreams. So
in the last 4 years, you made it, huh?
Yeah, I can say that.
So what does it mean to you? What is music? How do you value music, Ruth?
It's a very difficult question, right?
Don't make it easy. What do you like about music?
I like about music because that's like a color of my life.
It's the color in your life,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, like the
speaker, Mr.
The speaker is saying,
Dwayne Smith.
Yeah, music might not help the world, but will save you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's more individual. It's very personal. The music to me is a way of communication too.
So how does it help you being in the Philippines, doing what you do? I mean, how does it work for you? How does it benefit you being here in this lovely country?
But for me, Filipinos are really music lovers. I think in Asia they are known to be great musicians. Everywhere you go in Asia, if you go in Japan, China, you see Filipino bands all over the place.
Right, back in my home country too, in India.
In India too, I mean, all over the world, even in France. So to be surrounded by a nation that live through music, it's very inspiring, and I think it's it's still kept secret, you know. People still don't really know about that.
Recognize this
yeah,
about the Philippines,
yeah,
that we are so music
exactly.
loving. Yeah?
It's not really known. I mean, of course, now people start to know like Charis, and now it's getting more obvious that there's a lot of talent here, but it's still not known. And I think we are both privileged to you know, to live in this atmosphere because we love music and we, you know.
So you're saying as a country, Philippines hasn't been recognized, the potential that it has in terms of its talent and skill in music hasn't been recognized yet. And
me,
can be, you think that can be recognized globally?
Yeah, I think that's the next step, you know. I think that will really help, you know, if, you know, for example, the government will really help, you know, musicians more, because music can be the ambassador. If you look at Jamaica before Bob Marley, nobody really cared.
Before
Bob Marley. But thanks to one man, his music, everybody wants to go to Jamaica, even if, you know, it's not really the safest place, but it just made Jamaica appealing to the world.
Marley
and I think Filipino artists could do the same. And I think it's a way to go, you know, to promote a country. You know, music make a country could
make the world go round.
Exactly. So I think for me as an artist, being in the Philippines, it's really great because I have wonderful musicians playing with me, and I'm very excited to share that, you know, in Asia and in the world. You know,
I'm sure you heard the music of Freddie Aguilar, which is quite close to the kind of talent that Bob Marley had.
Yes, well, it made it worldwide, and I think it's kind of artist and kind of song that can, you know, keep on promoting the Philippines. But to be honest with you, before living in the Philippines, I was not aware about that song.
Oh, the Anak.
Anak. So even if I know it made a worldwide hit, it's still not, you know.
It's still not as popular as Bob Marley because of it's in a different language.
Yeah, also, yeah.
How does it work for you, Ruth? Philippines and music, or music in the Philippines?
Well, music in the Philippines I see is very different than I see music in Japan. The music exists very differently in people's life here, and I see it every day. So, so promoting Filipino music overseas or something, I think there's no, you know, like there's no good approach yet done.
I mean, nationally. On a national level,
the goodness of the music in the Philippines is not somebody else is doing in other countries, I feel like. Because here the music is daily life. Like mostly like every minute of your... Yeah, it's like very close. I mean, I was at the hospital just sitting waiting for my, you know, turn, and then everybody's singing, right?
In the lobby?
in the lobby, right?
In the waiting area?
Because there's a little background music going on. People started to sing this great music, and I started to think, this will never happen in Japan.
Even in France.
Even in France? All right. So kind of dry countries you come from.
So I feel like
in India, you're singing more, no?
Well, we have a
movies.
we have a lot of bebop over there. Okay, let's take a little break. Then I'll come back and ask you about your success, your kind of music, and what you have personally achieved, rather than talk about the big picture. Same with you, Julien. I'll come back and ask you about how you cut this album and how you are succeeding today in the Philippines. All right. So let's take a little break, and we'll come back and talk to Julien Drolon and Ruth Linton. We're talking about music makes the world go round. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan. Stay watching. Bebop. Good evening. Welcome back to ExPat InSights. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan. We are with Julien Drolon, the French singer, and also with Ruth Linton, the Japanese singer in the Philippines. We are going to go to Ruth Linton and ask her about her music. We are going to show you an example of a sample of her music. But before we do that, that music is in Japanese, so I'm challenged by the fact that it's in Japanese. I'm sure you are too. So we'll have Ruth explain the song first, then you watch it. It's kind of a story, a narrative. It's beautiful. So Ruth, tell us about this song that we are going to show.
Well, this song is about my town. I mean, my prefecture I grew up. It's called Nara.
Nara.
It's like a wood, right? Type of wood.
Yeah.
Nara. And then I filmed this music video on the top of mountain in Nara. It's called the Wakaksa Mountain. It's beautiful. And then this song is dedicated to sing this. We were celebrating 1300 years anniversary of this place to be in capital of Japan.
Nara.
Nara was
Nara was the
capital.
capital
Wow.
of Japan. What does the song
People
say?
should know that.
Song is
What are
this.
yeah.
This song is how many years we have been here and how many stories we made in this place, and then this place is still, bringing
Yeah.
me to adult and then raising me.
Oh, so it's a homage to the place
Yes.
Nara. It's like
And this is the place that gives me everything, and then
so it's in
even
respect of the
more.
lupa in Tagalog we call it the land. Okay, let's watch that song by Ruth Linton, Yoshe. Yoshe. What is it called?
いや引っ越しまでだってまだ時間あるやん。うん。せやな。もういいね。大丈夫やから。あ、うん、ちょっと切るな。はい。
Welcome back to ExPat InSights. That
Hello.
was very nice, Ruth.
Thank you.
So tell us now about the kind of music you do and how did you get into this profession, Ruth?
Well, I was doing solo in Tokyo.
Mhm.
Well, I grew up in a city that I just filmed this music video.
Nara.
Nara, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is the, not the mountain. Then I moved to Tokyo doing vocal coach.
Mhm.
I was teaching vocal. Then I moved to the States and then came back and then I started to do more singing just by myself.
Mm.
Then I formed a band called the World of Spy.
The World of Spy.
Yeah, World of Spy. And then we started to live in Nara, this place.
Mhm.
Then do lots of performing, like every week, live shows. Then
In Nara.
of
all
course,
over Japan,
Yeah,
yeah.
Japan. Yeah, we traveled a lot as
Right.
well. Yeah. Then we kind of not doing World of Spy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I keep doing the solo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how famous are you in Japan? From a ranking of 1 to 10.
Oh, maybe 6.
6 is good, yeah? 6 is good. So what do you want to do with your music for the world when you sing?
Yeah.
What do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with your talent?
Thank you. Because
Welcome.
talent is, I believe it's a gift.
Okay.
Yeah. So, not I'm saying like I'm the greatest musician or anything, but I think it's I got a certain type of gift in music, and I recognize it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to use it
Mm-hmm.
for somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's
you
my
think it's
motivation.
totally a gift, or you have to work at the gift?
I had it to work as
You have
well.
to work at it too.
But it's a combination of the gift and then the self-motivation and effort.
So what would be your ideal outcome? You said that you want to give the gift of your talent to somebody else, no? So who's that somebody else, and who is that ideal somebody else? Who are you trying to impact? What
Yeah.
audience are you trying to impact?
Okay, so especially like the project that I'm working on.
Currently?
Currently this is in Vietnam.
Mhm.
And this project is very, very educational for me, myself, because this song is for the victim of Agent Orange from Vietnam War.
Agent Orange.
Yeah, so the victim. So that was very heavy for me. I didn't know what about it so much, and no much knowledge about it, but I needed to grow up together with the song.
You grew up
With the
with
song, because that was educational for me. To participate this project was something I needed to do in my life, I felt like. And I was filming music video in Vietnam with people who are victim of Agent Orange. And then that's the time I really realized I have to keep doing my music because they were very happy.
Let me get a little perspective on this. You are conversant with the story of Vietnam, of course. You being French because there was French presence, no? What is Agent Orange? Agent Orange was gas.
Yeah, dioxin.
Right. And what happened so that my audience, who is
Yes.
Generation X and Y, they don't know
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Would you give us a little background on that?
During the Vietnam War,
Mhm.
the
They
military
dropped.
sprinkled Agent Orange. This
Yeah.
is a chemical
Poisonous.
to kill the forest,
Mm.
so they can find people.
Right.
Yeah, so that happened quite, in the part of Vietnam, and then people did not know this dioxin can do to people, human being. So people kept drinking water from the farm, or they are keep eating all this food that
Toxic food.
that got affected by this
Right.
Agent Orange.
Yeah.
So then people there in Vietnam still, even newborn baby today.
Are affected by,
Are
it's like
affected.
Chernobyl, it's like
Affected.
the nuclear explosion in
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah.
Alright. So the kind of music that you're providing to this audience, people who are suffering from the effects of Agent Orange.
Yeah, not only suffering, but
yeah.
to me is to because many people, even in Japan, people feel this is a past. Vietnam War is a past.
Yeah. But the effects of the
But
rampage.
it is still going on.
Right.
And to make an action of something it's still happening through music is something
is
I have to do.
important for you,
Important.
makes value to you.
Because telling the truth.
This is amazing. This is kind of heavy stuff. No, we
It
didn't
is
expect
very
this to
heavy.
happen. So, and there you take us heavy. But you
Wow.
know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask Julien a couple of questions about his business, no? His music. But what I want you to do is the kind of music you're singing for this Vietnamese people. Would you kind of be ready to share a few lines from it
Yes,
in whatever
yes,
language?
I'd
Would you
love
be
to.
willing right now? You want to go since you're in this in the mood?
Yeah, thank you.
Julien, do you mind if she gives
I
us a
want to
sample
hear
of
it.
music?
I want
There you
to
go.
hear it.
Pick up the mic and there you are. The mic's already there. So give us a sample of what you are doing for people affected by Agent Orange, Ruth. Just shoot. Camera and shoot. There you go. Is it in Japanese or English?
It's in Japanese, but maybe I can give you a translation
Afterwards, okay.
Afterwards, okay.
All right, go ahead. Make my
世界に平和が続くように僕らの悲劇がなくなるように家族の笑顔が咲くように君の声は僕の中に Thank you.
Oh, Jesus. That was fantastic. I didn't understand it, but somehow, you know, your
feeling-
heart starts beating fast, it goes big. So translate very quickly what that
Yeah,
meant.
directly.
But so I like the emotion that backed it up.
Well, I can't sing
Gigantic.
this song without emotion,
tell us,
right? So I hope this world united in peace, and then the tragedy will not happen again. Like our tragedy will never happen again.
Agent
And-
Orange kind of a
And
tragedy.
then this, the smile of a family will keep having in the world, and your voice is still within me, because this is the story of a guy. His name is Duck.
Duck?
Gwen Duck. Yeah. He was born attached his body with his brother. Because of that, he got
because
affected
of the
by
effects of Agent Orange.
And then his brother unfortunately died.
Mhm.
So this is the story of his life, and
Yeah.
then that's why your voice is still within me.
So let me repeat it quickly for my audience. Number one, you're saying that let's have peace. Yeah, let what happened before in the 70s in Vietnam not happen again, and let's focus ourselves on building families and love. That's what he said. And a story about this guy called Doug, and that's what you sang, and that's what affects your Vietnamese audience, and that's the kind of effect you want to create.
Yep.
Am I right? Was that a good summary?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic, Ruth. That was amazing. What I'd like you to do, request you, is that this song, the text, would you put it up on the Facebook of ExPat InSights so
Yes.
people can go see it?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So, Julien, what we'll do is we'll take a quick break. Yeah?
Okay, okay.
And we'll come back and talk to you about your music and the kind of effect it creates on this world. Ruth, thank you very much. That
Thank
was
you very much.
fabulous. Really touching. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a one-man break and come back and talk to Julien and the kind of impact he wants to create in the world with his music. Stay watching. This is ExPat InSights. I'm your host, Raju Mandhyan. Welcome back to ExPat InSights. I'm Raju Mandhyan. I have guests tonight, Julien Drolon and Ruth Linton. Ruth just belted out a Japanese song for the Vietnamese people who suffered from the Agent Orange effect back in the 70s. And now,
It's time to
Julien
be
Drolon's gonna give us No More Divisions. Julien over there,
Right.
with that camera. Take two, yeah.
It's time to be free, to be united. Our God is too big to tear us apart. Read yourself more than all books. There is no one else who knows the truth. Life is a test to pass with a smile, or don't need to confess, or don't need to cry. I see no more divisions between brothers of all nations. I see no more divisions, no more problems of religions, yeah.
Yay! Good, Julien. So welcome to the show. Now tell us about your music. That was nice. No more divisions. Read yourself more than the books.
Yes.
Very important. So tell us about your music. What do you want to achieve with this?
Well, for me, it's just try to empower people, like Ruth, showing them love and inspire them and And also, I think as an international reporter, I love history, and I try also through my music to let the people know what is my side of, what I think, what are my views on the world. Because as an artist, I think you have a responsibility. We have the time,
Yeah.
to, for example, to know about history.
Yeah.
And people who are working every day, they don't have the time so much, to read the news and everything. So I think as an artist, it's our responsibility to tell the people what's going on in the world, and through music, maybe we are kind of journalists in our own way.
In a different way, you are
Exactly.
reporting the good, no?
Exactly. We're also talking about, bad things. Sometimes it's necessary for people also to know our side of the story, and I think that was the job of the artists before, the singers in the past. It was. I know for France, for example, in a village, there were an artist who were talking about the stories of the village and what's going on. So that's what I want to do through my music,
So who do you want to address this to? Who's your target audience? The whole world, or is there, like, she had a very specific audience, no? The Vietnamese people who suffered and the people who caused the suffering. Who are you targeting to in your music, Julien?
Well, for me, of course, it's the whole world, but more on the youth.
More on the youth.
The new generation that will lead the world. I think it's very important for us and for them to have very good values, and that's what I want to do through my music. Share my values of freedom, love, peace. And I think it's really important right now, especially what's going on, in the Middle East, and I really want to focus people
also in the
on
Philippines and
peace.
also in many countries, yeah.
Everywhere, So I think we should really know what are the values we want our children, to live with, and I think through music we can share that.
Okay, let me ask you both. How do you go about creating music? I mean, what's the starting point? What's the what's the entry point of the creativity that you do? Do you compose the melody first? Do you write the songs first, or do you have a story to tell? What is your technique, and what is your technique, Ruth? You want to go first, anyone?
Ladies
How do you
first.
go about creating beautiful music?
I go for song first.
You write
and
the
song comes up just randomly my day. Yeah. Then I started to write down maybe piece of paper or newspaper, and to start writing. Then I go back home, or maybe I could be at home. Then I sit down with some instruments that I can play chords. Then I started to play melody, but sometimes melody comes first.
Sometimes. So
Yeah.
in the song that you just sang for people affected by Agent Orange,
Yeah.
what, did you write the words down?
That
or
is
did you
actually
go
written
ta-ta-ta,
by
ta-ta-ta?
It's somebody else.
Oh, it was
It's a
written by somebody else.
Yeah, teacher of a junior high school, and
Yeah.
then the students of the junior high school.
Which is the song that you wrote? Any, is it Japanese song?
Well, the music video we played earlier, I wrote the lyrics.
The one in Nara, about Nara. You
But the other song I write both. Yeah.
And
Kind
you
of a
continue,
mix.
and you continuously write. You write
Yeah.
every day
Yeah.
some song.
Yeah, more like my lyrics book are like very thick.
Julien, you've got 6 songs here. 7, no?
Yeah. Well,
Free to Love, No More Divisions, which you just sang. So these are all written by you?
yes.
How do you go about it? Tell us your strategy on creating an album.
Usually I write that when I'm traveling.
Okay.
I wrote Free to Love in Hong Kong, No More Division in Spain. I was doing a pilgrim in it's like 1,000 kilometer walking.
Right.
So I wrote that song on a mountain. So I had
No More Divisions on a mountain?
Yeah. I see no more divisions. That's
Yeah.
what I wrote the chorus, and then sometimes you have to let a song sleep for a while, and I think you should never force it. For me, a song should just come naturally, and so I usually work with my intuition, and sometimes I take my guitar, I play a few chords. It also helps me to to find the melody and after write lyrics. So it's like it depends on.
It's a very basic process, then very trial and error process. So no straight cut process. So are you saying that global, the international singers like the Beatles and stuff, they also just tampered with words and music, then came to what they have come to?
Yeah.
I believe so.
But when you're about to write a song, you know it. and it's very exciting.
Oh, you
you
feel
have a, I don't know, it's
you're on a high.
yeah,
You're on a
yeah.
high,
You feel it. Oh my God, I need a pen and paper right now. You know, it's
I
like,
wanna capture this,
and you know, it's a very, when you complete a song, it's a very beautiful feeling, and it's very fulfilling. You know, and I like this moment where I know I'm gonna write. You know, like, and it happens suddenly. You know, it can happen at 3 in the morning, and you have to be ready to do it.
It can happen over a piece of chicken, right there, and music. Let me ask you something else. No, let me ask you something else. So that's how you write songs, and you are both successful. You have 7 published songs, and you have 3 or more published songs. Three or more, no, in Japan, no? The next stage is bringing the music to the world.
Yes.
It's fine that you write it on your kitchen table or in the bathroom or you're fast asleep and you come up with a song. Fine. But when you bring it to the world, what are the steps that you would recommend upcoming singers, whether French or Japanese? What would you tell them? How would they cut a record? What's the procedure? What do you do?
For me, you need to have faith. You know, that's the #1 thing.
Okay, okay.
And after is surround yourself with better people who are better than you. It's very important. You know,
Alright.
like musicians, people who know a lot about music, good producers. Never compromise with quality.
Yeah.
You know, with you know, in terms of equipment, and for me, it's especially the people you're working with. So if you want to make a record, it's really important to have, you know, people who know more than you, because otherwise you cannot reach, you know.
So thus you go knocking on the doors of professional publishers and record cutting companies, and you say, I have a song, please record it for me. Is that what you do?
Well, what I did when I arrived in the Philippines, I went to some bars, and I got the chance to meet Jimmy Antipoda in his school, because I was his neighbor, so that was, you know.
Jimmy
Antipoda is one of the greatest producer here. He's a band member of Neo Colors, and I went also to some bars, and when I like a musician, I come to talk to him after the show and say, I'm working on an album right now, do you mind?
Where do I go? All right. So you work the streets, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
You work the bars and the
yeah,
streets to find
for
something.
example, the first guitarist to play on No More Division is Noel Mendes, and he's a surfer. We met because we
The
have
guy
a
with the
song.
long hair in the song?
No, with the short,
Okay.
he's playing in my video, No More Divisions. So I met him thanks to surfing. So for me, it has to be a human connection. You know, that's my feeling.
You, what were your steps in going
I think
professional, public?
Team. You need a good team
Yeah.
to be able to bring your 100%, or some producer
Yeah.
will bring your 120%. And that's what you need.
Okay,
I
all
did.
right. Great. So I'm happy to have had you here on this show. If there's something I haven't asked you yet, I'm going to play your song to close this thing, no? So is there something you want to tell or share with my audience about music or about yourself? Where do they catch you playing? Any website?
Yes, website will be ruth-gs.com.
ruth.gs.com, and you'll find Ruth Linton and her Japanese music. How about you, Julien? Where do they find you?
On Facebook, I have also a website, juliendrolon.com, and I'm also on Twitter. And I want also to promote this album because it's a first USB key album. So you know, you can give it to a friend as a present, and I'm very happy that entertainment circuit, you know, gave me the opportunity to be the first artist in the Philippines to, you know, to launch an album with a USB key, and it's going to be available in all the stores nationwide in August. So
Right.
please have one for you and your friends.
So it's a different kind of an album. It's a USB key, and it has a notebook to go with it. So
Yeah,
you can
and it's a notebook of dreams.
scribble your
You
song.
can write your dreams. Actually, I wrote in 2007 that I will make an album, and here we go. I made it in 2012, so you can use it also for making your dream happen.
Thank you for your music. Thanks
Thank
for the
you.
great songs, and thanks for the insights on ExPat InSights. Thanks for being on this show,
for
Ruth
having me.
and Julien, and
Thank you.
really has been good having you here. I'm going to leave the audience with your song. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching ExPat InSights. I hope you enjoyed the show. And the music, we are going to leave you with the music of Julien Drolon called Phil So Good, which of course means Philippines So Good.
Yes.
Next week, we'll see you with a guy called Kareem Antonio. Good night and mabuhay.
pays sur terre où il fait bon vivre. Le soleil, la mer et tous ces sourires. J'ai trouvé la paix sur cette île magique où le beau, le vrai embellissent ma vie. I'm in the Philippines. I'm in the Philippines. I'm in the Philippines. And I feel so good, so good. Les femmes sont si belles de Viganamati. Le Dieu dit je t'aime et mon cœur leur dit oui, yeah. J'ai trouvé l'amour depuis que je vis ici. J'ai pas d'aller-retour, je reste au paradis.
Oh, sit back, relax, you're in the Philippines, where the sun's always shining and life is real laid back. While listening to smooth jazz and feel the cold breeze and keep the wheels blazing. Cause all we need is some time to relax, feel the beat, feel the groove with this new JD track. Ticket, don't stop, non-stop, ang saya, pagkatapos ng lahat, libutin yung simita. Tawagan mo na si Tao and I'll text Julien. Atakin na si Nico all over again. Cause the best thing in life is life, and that's true. Pagayaan ang saya, lagkaplani ka nito. Take a trip, enjoy it, and just reconnect. Libutin siya ang but all by yourself, why a thrill, that's the deal. Lay back and chill, watch the dive sunset, yeah, that's the thrill. Sounds cool. You're in the Philippines,
I'm in the Philippines. I'm in the Philippines.
yeah, gotta
And I
love it.
feel so good, so good. Luzon, Bisaya, Mindanao, je suis allé partout, Mani, Cebu, Davao. Je suis au rendez-vous, San Juan, Samar, Chagao. Le surf y est si cool, le temps, les vagues, la plage, c'est ma vie tous les jours. Je suis plus un nuage, je connais pas le doute, la peur, la haine, la rage ne sont plus sur ma route. Et quand je stoppe, c'est pour prendre mon souffle. Si je suis au top, c'est que j'ai mon cœur qui souffle. I'm in the Philippines. I'm in the Philippines. I'm in the Philippines.
Oh yeah, gotta love
And I
it.
feel so good, so good. I'm in the Philippines.
You're in the Philippines, you're in
I'm
the
in the
Philippines.
Philippines. I'm in the Philippines. And I feel so good, so good.